The mop squeaked softly across the waxed floor of the base command hall. It was nearly midnight, and no one noticed the janitor hunched over his work, no one except the portraits of generals staring down from the walls, their painted eyes full of medals and myths. But Staff Sergeant Colton Shaw noticed. Decorated war hero, 3 tours, a chest full of medals and a voice that could bark down a room of recruits. He was a legend, at least in his own mind. And when he passed the janitor one morning, pushing a squeaky cart past the office's mess, he smirked. "Hey, make sure you scrub real hard. The future of the nation depends on how shiny these floors are." Laughter erupted behind him. A group of young soldiers snickered, nudged each other. The janitor didn't look up. His name was Daniel Cole. Widowed, 39. He'd served once too, until the IED left him limping and hollow-eyed. But no one at the base knew. He never said a word. He just showed up at 4 a.m., worked until the sun went down, and went home to tuck in his daughter, Lily. She was his world. The teasing got worse. One morning, someone wrote, "Toilet Hero," on his locker in Sharpie. Another time, they filled his mop bucket with oatmeal. The laughter echoed. He never complained. But Lily noticed. One night, she found him rubbing at the Sharpie stain on his coat with lemon juice and dish soap. She touched his arm. "Daddy, why do they treat you like that?" He smiled gently. "Because they forgot something, sweetheart. But I didn't." The next morning, the base was buzzing. General Harlow was visiting, a high-level inspection, a surprise review of the unit. Everyone was tense, uniforms crisp, boots polished. They didn't expect what happened next. At 8 a.m. sharp, the fire alarm blared. Thick smoke flooded the east wing. Panic erupted. Soldiers scrambled in disarray. Communications jammed. No one could locate the emergency override. The alarm system had short-circuited. Chaos. Then a voice cut through the haze. "Everyone out. East hallway compromised. Use the southern corridor. Keep low, move fast." It was Daniel. In the confusion, the fire had trapped 2 new recruits in the mechanical room. The fire chief was still en route. But Daniel knew the duct system better than anyone. He cleaned it. With no protective gear, he crawled into the vent. Heat burned his arms, smoke clawed at his lungs. Inside, the boys were coughing, terrified. "Close your eyes," he said. "Breathe with me." He wrapped his arms around both and led them out, dragging, pushing, coughing so hard he collapsed at the exit. Everyone saw. When the fire was finally put out, and the base secure, General Harlow stood before the assembled ranks. Even Sergeant Shaw stood stiff and silent. "Who led the emergency?" the general asked. A quiet voice from the back answered, "The janitor, sir." General Harlow stepped forward. "That janitor is Daniel Cole. He served in the 12th Infantry Battalion. 2 Purple Hearts, 1 Silver Star. Injured saving his team from an ambush in Kandahar." Gasps. Heads turned. Eyes widened. He never asked for recognition. He just came back, and kept serving. Quietly, with dignity. Then he turned to Shaw. "I hope today, you learned what leadership really looks like." Silence hung in the air. Shaw looked down. The recruits stood frozen. Later that day, someone quietly wiped the graffiti off Daniel's locker. Another folded him a new uniform patch, "Honor in Silence." And when Lily came to visit the base that afternoon, dozens of soldiers lined up to shake her father's hand. She looked up at him and whispered, "I'm proud of you, Daddy." He smiled. "I always knew who I was, sweetheart." That was enough. Sometimes, the strongest voices are the ones that don't shout. And sometimes, the bravest men wear janitor's boots and carry a mop. The lunchroom echoed with laughter. Not the warm kind. Daniel Cole stood silently at the edge of the room, mop in hand, as a group of young soldiers huddled around the latest punchline. Staff Sergeant Colton Shaw had just finished a long story, half true, half inflated,